Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Still the weekend. Today's coffee is a repeat, actually, of yesterday's. Black coffee, some vanilla almond milk, a little Splenda, and a couple globs of that Halo Top caramel macchiato. It's not filmy like it was yesterday for whatever reason. It's really actually very good. I'm surprised because it's a weird concoction. Once upon a time, I was in a facility, and what we used to do was make black coffee and melt for a treat an entire Milky Way into it. The caramel, the chocolate, the nougat melt. It's so good. At any rate, you weren't here for recipes. Today, we are actually doing another Ask It Basket. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen one of these, it's a variety of topics, some that I had preloaded, and some that were given through the comments. So I put those in the basket. So I'm aware of generally the topics that are in there, because I put them there, but I haven't really prepared anything to talk about. So I'll get the topic and I'll just go. So, basket. Not looking. I'm not looking. All right, and today's topic is diets. How apropos. So, diets. I've been on a diet probably since I've been in the womb. Um, I've gone off and on diets my entire life. I've called them different things. I've called them lifestyle choices. I've called them lifestyle changes. Whatever. Um, Long story short, I was a really overweight kid. Um, and I was, kind of picked on and noticed for it. I was not as much bullied as I was ignored. I had a couple friends, and they were pretty good, but otherwise, I was just kind of left in the background. And I actually preferred it that way because I didn't. Attention when you're that size isn't usually good attention. So, when I was in my teens, I started going on a diet. It was Slim Fast. As far as diets go, Slim Fast is. I mean, it works, but it's gross. I mean, back in the day, I don't know if it's better now, but it was those chalky shakes that you shake up, and it was breakfast, lunch, and a sensible dinner. Yuck. So I did that for a few months. And then I got into some eating disorder behaviors. I'm not going to elaborate on those because I shouldn't be talking about diets that go on my chart. So I've done many other videos about eating disorder stuff. Feel free to check those out. But as to trying out different diets that other people use as a means to lose weight, and when I was trying them, I wasn't, covertly burying an eating disorder. I had done the vegan thing for a little while, the vegetarian vegan thing. And I understand those are more like lifestyles than just diets, which is probably why it wasn't for me. I was very loud and obnoxious as a teenager and also young adult, telling people about how I loved animals and the earth was warming and all this stuff. And people are, followed those lifestyles for a good reason. I didn't. But I did find some benefits to eating a plant-based diet. I was very regular. My skin was actually in pretty good shape. I was a little weak, but I didn't have a really balanced diet. I wasn't one of those vegans that lived on French fries and, soy ice cream, but I wasn't always the healthiest. And I, did have ulterior motives. I would arrange my food as such that I could get thin from eating it. But then when the mask falls off, boy, does it make a thump. I started going through the drive-through, getting burgers and stuff, and I didn't want to tell everybody I stopped being vegan because I was so obnoxious about it. I didn't want to go back and tell everyone that I wasn't vegan anymore. I remember low carb going on when I was really young. I want to say 9, 10. I used to watch I love infomercials. I've watched every infomercial. I watch them on YouTube. I watch them late at night. Mark hates them. He will not watch them with me. And there was one called the Protein Power Plant. It's 1,000 years old. And it was kind of somewhere between Atkins and keto. All the people they would interview who lost a bunch of weight were eating steak, cheese, nuts, cream in their coffee, stuff like that. And at the time I thought, oh, good God. It wasn't very popular at the time. I came through the 90s when I was growing up and into dieting, and everything at that point was low fat, low fat. That was what everyone was doing, cutting fat. There was no cholesterol in anything. So as I was going through my own dieting periods off and on, fat was usually the thing that I would try to cut. And I would usually try to increase fiber. Leftovers from the eating disorder stuff, not to delve into it, I was left with a kind of a sensitive GI tract. So no matter what diet I was on, fiber was usually, I tried to include as much as I could. So veganism didn't work because I wanted to eat meat. Uh, let's see, what else didn't work? Slim Fast, because it was just temporary. It was gross. Uh, Now, I tried Atkins, but the carb thing, like, I like carbs. I do. I'm a carb junkie. As I put ice cream in my coffee, like, you can't tell that I'm a carb junkie. Um, so diets where that's eliminated didn't really work for me. I can sprint, but I can't do the marathon with low carb diets like that, if that makes sense. Like, I can do it for a little while and get that pop of weight off, but then I can't keep it up. And I found that with low carb, falling off the wagon, that weight came back really quick. So if I was trying to lose water weight or cut weight fast for like an event, I would go low carb, but it was never like a change I was making for the long term. It was just some short little thing I was going to do. So low carb wasn't for me. Keto. Now, y'all know I have feelings about keto. I have tried it. And the reasons it didn't work for me was because I couldn't stick to it. It wasn't a good fit for the foods I like, for the style of eating that I do, for the amount of meat that was involved, just for a lot of different reasons, mostly based on my likes and dislikes as far as my eating choices. Keto wasn't for me. But I tried to go all in, and some of the recipes didn't work for me. I tried putting butter in my coffee. Holy cow. I almost threw up on the kitchen floor. Just didn't work for me. I probably did it wrong, I know, but... And I can appreciate, and let me be candid with my folks that do keto. I understand it's helped with weight loss and with blood sugar and with diabetes and all these other things. Having a disagreement with someone who is living a keto lifestyle, sometimes it's people that do keto, vegans, and people really into CrossFit for some reason. And I'm not making sweeping assumptions, but it happened a lot. It's like you're criticizing a person if you have anything mildly negative to say about a keto lifestyle. But I'm not saying negative, I'm just saying it's not for me. And I have no problem with someone else doing what works for them. I did what works for me too. I never did Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or anything like that. I tried some Nutrisystem food because somebody at work's wife went on it and bought all the food and decided it was disgusting, so they brought it down to the rest of us to try. It's disgusting. The portions are ridiculous. It's all shelf stable, which is weird. It reminds me of like military rations. So I tried the food. It was gross. It was really gross. Mark had an ex who did Nutrisystem and said basically you just starve. It's just not enough food to live on. So I didn't go that route. But, I mean, every diet, I think people, this goes for any bad habit or any lifestyle change that becomes permanent for someone, I think. People swear by the thing that worked for them. People who are proponents of, let's say, Weight Watchers say, I've tried everything and this is the only thing that works. And people that do keto say, I've tried everything and this is the only thing that works. I did pretty much intermittent fasting and calorie counting. Now, I'm not going to say I've tried everything and it's the only thing that works, because I've tried many other things that work. I will see over the long term if I can maintain using those same tools that I had when I was losing weight with just adjusting a little bit. But people, I think, always swear by what works for them, and then kind of project that, and if you did it, you would get it too. I don't know. I guess I'm just wishy-washy on that. I think people are different. I think bodies are different. You know, my father recently lost a bit of weight because he had some health concerns that came up. And he didn't do much except, like, switch sodas from regular to diet, eat less sugar, and switch to a couple other little lifestyle changes, and the weight just fell off. You know, it wasn't that big of a deal. I come from the school of calories in, calories out myself, very basically, and I know not all calories are equal, but I've found in my own body that when I overeat, I gain, and when I undereat, I lose. So eating less, to me, fewer calories in means I lose more weight, and more calories in, if I don't burn them, means I gain weight. So that's kind of as basic as I keep it, and my body seems to respond to that logic. So that's where I roll with it. That's why I watch calories. My body doesn't seem to care where they're coming from, if they're high quality or low quality. If they're low quality, I'll feel like crap probably eating them. But if they're high quality, then I'm getting the right fiber, the right nutrients, and I don't feel like wiped out. My body will lose weight whether I eat 1,500 calories a day of ice cream or kale. But I'm probably better off, though I don't like it, with the kale. Everyone eats kale anymore too. It's not a garnish. I mean, there's old heads who've been eating kale forever, I know, but I don't hate kale. I'll give myself that. It's so funny when I think about making food choices. Sometimes it seems so moot, because I have other vices that are so much more deadly, and I have risk factors in my health that are so that shave so much off your lifespan that it seems like, does it really matter if I take the skin off the chicken? But I kind of also believe that anything that a person can do to move the needle from less healthy choices to healthier choices. I had a nutritionist tell me once. I've been in rehab a few times, drug and alcohol stuff. By the way, alcoholorexia is kind of a thing. When you don't eat so you can drink, so you save your calories for booze. Holy cow, can you throw your life away fast? Anyway, I had a nutritionist in a rehab who said, start with what you're willing to do and work your way up. Let's say apples. Say you don't want to eat an apple. Go to the applesauce. If you won't eat applesauce, drink apple juice. Work your way down. Start with what you're willing to do. Just replace the bad with the better. And then if you can do juice, do unsweetened juice. And then go to sweetened applesauce and then unsweetened. And then have an apple with the peel. Like, just work your way up this way. Mark kind of makes incremental changes like that with his diet. And they stick because he made them slowly. Some of the ones I made on this weight loss journey stuck because I did them slowly. I eat a lot more, believe it or not. If you watch one of my what I ate today's, there's not much fresh food, but more than I used to eat. So that's still a process of getting there too. As to diets versus lifestyle changes, I've found, because I've kept my weight off now, I'm going to say almost a year, with a probably gained back 5 to 8 pounds of it, which is why we're doing weigh-in Wednesdays again, just to keep an eye on things. But I would say this is the longest I've maintained any sort of loss with only a little bit gaining back. So I think the things I did along the way now actually helped, and that was the intermittent fasting and the calorie counting. But I don't want to get on my soapbox and tell you that if you want to get thin, you should do exactly what I did, because your body might be different. You might not be able to exercise, or you might be, I don't know, gluten-free, or you can't do intermittent fasting because you're have diabetes and it doesn't help. I know someone with the keto is going to say they can cure diabetes. I know. You guys are great. I'm talking to them like they're over here, like they're the peanut gallery. I'm not mad at you. You probably cook a mean steak too. So, we have a viewer subscriber who actually has a very good cheesecake recipe that's keto. And since we're doing a Golden Girls episode that would probably require cheesecake, we may be hitting somebody up for a recipe. Just a heads up. That's an olive branch to my keto folks that I want to let you know you're welcome here too, even though I have a poor attitude. So those are pretty much my thoughts on diets. They work for each of us individually. I think people swear by what works for them. And hopefully they don't project that whatever worked for me is going to work for you, because I don't think in any area of life that's always the case. People are different. We're all unique in some way. So, yeah. So if you're dieting today or doing your lifestyle change, I wish you well. I know it's difficult. I've lost and gained weight 1,000 times, 1,000 different ways. I've probably lost over the course of my life 100 pounds 2 or 3 times. So I know how to lose weight. And I know the discouragement of gaining it back. I watch a lot of weight loss channels, a lot of folks who I really like. I watch a lot of folks who struggle too, who go back and forth and back and forth. And it's like watching someone run around inside a burning building and you're trying to say, there's a few exits actually. You have a few ways to get out of here, and they're still running in circles. And it's hard to watch because I've been big. And I know it sucks. There's really no benefits to being fat. I mean, you can spin it any way you want, and beauty, I think, is not connected to body size. physical or internal beauty, but health is. Health is. I don't think there's any dancing around that. So I'm glad to be in a little bit of a healthier place. Again, moving the needle. It's not news to me or anyone else that I still eat like crap sometimes, and yes, I smoke. But, you know, bit by bit, thing by thing, hopefully we're getting there. And my diet is a piece of health that I've been working on and I think I've been doing okay with. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Give us a like. You can follow us on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email and contact information is below, so if you want to send any correspondence, feel free. Also, we are doing a postcard challenge with all of our subscribers and viewers. So if you would like to send us a postcard of where you're from, we will be decorating our background with those. So it could be a postcard of the town you're in. It could be of a beach if you're there. We're getting jealous because people are sending postcards of places that look gorgeous. And then I look out the window and I remember I live in northeastern Pennsylvania. So we have nice mountains, but the beach is nicer. So feel free to do that. Also, if you'd like a shout out, leave something in the comments below where you're from, what your name is, and we'll put you on the list for that as well. Y'all take care, have a good afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.